Welcome to the channel, The Bible and the Carpenter, your daily guide through sacred readings.
Genesis, chapter 13. So Abram left Egypt and went to the Negev with his wife and all that belonged to him, and Lot went with him. Now Abram was very rich in cattle, silver, and gold. He traveled from the Negev as far as Bethel, to the place where his tent had been. It was at the beginning, between Bethel and Aish, where he had made an altar. And there Abram called on the name of the Lord. Now Lot, who went with Abram, had flocks and cattle and tents of his own. There was not enough land to feed all the animals. While they lived together, they owned so many things that they were not able to stay together. There was fighting between those who cared for Abram's animals and those who cared for Lot's animals. The Canaanite and the Perizzite were living in the land at that time. So Abram said to Lot, "Let there be no fighting between you and me, or between the men who take care of our animals, for we are brothers. Is not the whole land in front of you? Let each of us go a different way. If you go to the left, then I will go to the right. Or if you go to the right, then I will go to the left." Lot looked and saw that the Jordan Valley was well watered everywhere, like the garden of the Lord, like the land of Egypt as you go to Zoar. This was before the Lord destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah. So Lot chose all the Jordan Valley for himself. And as Lot traveled east, they went apart from each other. Abram made his home in the land of Canaan. Lot made his home in the cities of the valley and moved his tents as far as Sodom, whose men were sinful. Sin was against the Lord. The Lord said to Abram, after Lot had left him, "Raise your eyes and look from where you are, to the north and south and east and west. For I will give all the land that you see to you, and to your children and to your children's children forever. I will make your family after you like the dust of the earth. So if anyone could number the dust of the earth, then he could number your children's children. Rise up and walk far and wide upon the land, for I will give it to you." Then Abram moved his tent and came to live among the oaks of Mamre in Hebron. There he built an altar to the Lord. Genesis chapter 14. It was in the days of Amraphel, king of Shinar, Arioch, king of Elasar, Chedorlaomer, king of Elam, and Tidal, king of Goyim, that they made war against Bera, king of Sodom, Birsha, king of Gomorrah, Shinab, king of Admah, Shemeber, king of Zeboim, and the king of Bela, that is, Zoar. All these joined together in the valley of Siddim, that is, the Salt Sea. They had been ruled by Chedorlaomer for 12 years. But in the 13th year, they went against him. Then in the 14th year, Chedorlaomer and the kings who were with him came and won a war against the Rephaim in Ashtaroth Karnim, the Zuzim in Ham, the Emim in Shaveh Kiriatim, and the Horites in their Mount Seir, as far as El Paran near the desert. Then they turned around and came to En-Mishpat, that is, Kadesh. There they won a war against all the country of the Amalekites and the Amorites who lived in Hazazon Tamar. Then the kings of Sodom, Gomorrah, Admah, Zeboim and Bela, that is, Zoar, went out and joined in war against them in the valley of Siddim. They fought against Chedorlaomer, king of Elam, Tidal, king of Goyim, Amraphel, king of Shinar, and Arioch, king of Elasar, 4 kings against 5. Now the Siddim valley was full of deep holes with tar. The kings of Sodom and Gomorrah turned and ran, and some fell there, but the others ran away into the hill country. Then those who won the war took all that belonged to Sodom and Gomorrah, and all their food, and left. They also took Lot, the son of Abram's brother, who lived in Sodom, and all that belonged to him, and left. Then one who had run for his life came and told Abram the Hebrew. Abram was living by the oaks of Mamre the Amorite, brother of Eshcol and Aner, who were friends of Abram. When Abram heard that one of his family had been taken away, he led 318 men who had been born in his house and whom he had taught to fight. They went after them as far as Dan. Abram divided his army against them by night, he and his servants. They won the war against them and followed them as far as Hobah, north of Damascus. Then Abram returned with all the things they had taken. He also returned with his brother's son Lot, and all that belonged to him, and the women and the people. After Abram returned from destroying Chedorlaomer and the kings who were with him, the king of Sodom went out to meet him at the valley of Shaveh, that is, the king's valley. Melchizedek, king of Salem, brought out bread and wine. He was a religious leader of God Most High. And Melchizedek honored Abram and said, "May good come to Abram from God Most High, maker of heaven and earth. Honor and thanks be to God Most High, who has given into your hand those who fought against you." Then Abram gave Melchizedek 1/10 of all he had taken. And the king of Sodom said to Abram, "Give me the people, but take the riches and food for yourself." But Abram said to the king of Sodom, "I have promised the Lord God Most High, maker of heaven and earth, that I will not take a piece of string or piece of leather or anything that is yours." Or else you might say, "I have made Abram rich. I will take nothing but what the young men have eaten, and the share of the men who went with me. Let Aner, Eshcol and Mamre take their share."
This is our first journey in the Bible and the Carpenter. Subscribe and turn on notifications to walk chapter by chapter with Jesus.